Hey guys, this is UC from iTradePrice. Thought of making a little video. Just wanted to make a quick clip talking about the service, our levels that we come up with, and trade execution. And importantly, I want to see the service from from your perspective. Like if I was a member or subscriber to this service, what would be the best way to use it? And how can I utilize to make it better, to learn. So trading has to be fun, right? It cannot be stressful. It becomes stressful when you don't know the outcome. So when you know the outcome, that this is the worst that could happen, your thinking and your approach will be more logical, unemotional, and you will end up being more disciplined, and it will give you good consistent results. So the best way to do that is by going through an example. Let us quickly open up Twitter profile, and so again, I'm going to go through these examples. Don't worry about how the price played out, but the thought process, right? The way we execute and think, how you can utilize the levels, the morning commentary to become a better trader, to give yourself good profits. Okay, so for example, this was the morning tweet, right, on ZM 330C above 328.1 because it held 321 the day before. Okay, so you're saying 330 above 328. All right, let's see how Zoom played out. Oh God. Okay, so going into Thursday, if it wanted to break down, it had all these 3-4 days after this big bearish trend bar to break down, but it wasn't really doing it, right? Because it was at a monthly support level of 302 from the previous time. Anyways, so let's dig into a lower time frame. So the tweet was, the morning notes were to get long above 328.1. right? So where did it open? The price on that day opened up just above 325, right here. And in the first 10 or maybe 20 minutes, it moved all the way to 339. That is almost $15 up. So we were saying to get long above 328.1, right? So it was something like right here. So even if you were manually trading it, it would have been a great, super nice run to the upside. Trade in the first 10 minutes, 20 minutes, you'll be done. Or if you had a conditional order, it could have been sitting right here that to, hey, get me into 330C if the price trades above 328.1, right? Get me into that 330C by market order, and as soon as the market order gets filled, get me out of that trade at market price when the price reaches, let's say, 331 or 332, or get me out of half of my trade. So you can do all that in Think or Swim, okay? That you can get rid of partial shares quickly as the price moves, and then you can keep manually, scaling down or taking your profits, partial profits, on any runners that you leave. So, okay, so you can see again the approach was, let me erase that this was the resistance that I was waiting for the price to get above, and then some, right? Otherwise, usually sometimes price would go up and then fail as well, and that happens, right? A lot of time people are like, hey, I bought the calls and the price has come down. Okay, how is that anyone's fault? How is that my fault or anybody else's fault if you are following somebody else, or if you're trading yourself as well, right? It's not your fault. Nobody controls the price. You can only plan for the price to go a certain way, but we can't control it. Nobody can control it. So if you're blaming somebody, hey, I got in because the price went up and then it just only went up by $2 after getting triggered and then it kept falling down. Too bad. that's market. Nobody controls that. You can only control your execution, right? So we try to get into a trade at the least, or actually, what should I say, at the most optimized price where it is highly likely to that it will either break out or it will get rejected, right? So you try to kind of optimize your entry that way so you can get out quickly rather than waiting for the trade, that it goes in your favor. So anyways, Zoom quick trade was to get long about 328.1 because it held this 318 support and then 321. I think it's not highlighted here, but you get the idea. Okay. All right. Next one was NVDA 545C above 541. Above 541. All right. Let's zoom in. Okay. So 541. Where did the price open? It opened up right above like around 542.5, something like that, right? So if you don't want to get long there, wait for it to test the support below, which was 540, right? Or it could have been this one right here, the resistance from the day before, right? If it did not go all the way down here and it got support right here, get long as it breaks the high of this 5-minute bar or as it goes above the same level, 541. Usually I like to see it take out the morning high just to kind of play a breakout trade rather than seeing it that's getting rejected from here. So anyways, the level was 541. So you could have placed a conditional order or you could have just bought it at the open and see, if it holds, sure, I'll remain in. But if it starts breaking down below the support, come out, right? Why do you want to make it a hope trade? So that's how you can play it. And then, again, the daily high was in the morning was like around just below 550. As it broke higher, it nicely ran up. Okay, so another thing. The chart was strong because even on the pullbacks, it was not giving any deeper pullbacks. It was just consolidating for the most part in the mid-morning. And right around noon Eastern, it went up, gave another leg up, and then another leg up later in the day, and it kind of sold off, but held this support level of 549. Now, going into Monday, if we open here somewhere, hold this level right here, and then go back up, sure, that's nice, that's bullish, but I would like it to see hold this 550, 549 level, and if it breaks through that, 545 is next. So you kind of get those clues from the market, from the price itself as it's playing out. Okay, so that one played out nicely. Roku already in put-credit, but would like to try a short above 341. That was very nice. I did end up shorting it. Right, so okay, so here's the chart of Roku, right? 341 plus I wanted to short. So let's look at hourly chart. So this was the trend line. It broke the trend line towards the upside, right? So that was bullish in itself. I was already in the bull put spread, so that was in our favor, but I wanted to short it above 341, right? Why? Because when the price was on its way down, it touched that level and bounced few times, right? So like right here as well, right? So that was an important level even before it broke down. Finally, it gave one last attempt and then it broke down finally, right? So focus on the thought process that this is an important level. So I would expect some resistance here. It of course showed a lot more resistance than I thought, but I would expect, just like a first touch bounce, I would expect a first touch sell-off at the resistance level, and that's what I wanted to play, and that's what I ended up playing as well, right? 5-minute chart, let's dig in. Here it is. I think I shorted it right at the first time, right there, 341.2. Actually, let's short it at 341.4 or something like that, and then it went all the way down to 339, and the next bar took it to 338, and I think that's where I kind of ended up closing it. But then it doesn't matter where I closed it. What matters is that that level ended up being a resistance, and you can read the price action as well, that any 5-minute bullish bar right here that closed above that level did not see any upside follow through. In fact, we got the selling pressure because of the top wicks and then the breakdown, and eventually came back down to its support level, or where it broke out from 329, this being the higher frame trend line. So we're kind of still weak, right? So anyways, that's how I played this one on Friday. Let's look at BIDU 225C above 224.5. BIDU above 224.5. Yes, that's a good example. So it opened up at 223.9, right? And 224.5 was something like right here. And then, yeah, I mean, this one played out nicely as well. For the 10-15 minutes, it kept on going up towards 227. So that's a good, almost $3 move, right? So if you have a 40 cents, 30 cents, 40 cents delta option, that's almost $1 move in option price. You know, that's decent. Yes, it sold off. If you had stop loss, you could have honored that once it broke below 223.5 or even 224.5. That was the entry level. So yeah, just kind of went back down, filled the gap, gave us a bounce, and then just was weak, and then kind of closed towards the weaker side. But again, the idea was to get long at 224. Whatever that level was, 0.5 or 0.3, and then just, you know, let it go up, and that's where you should be taking profits, because I think that was the level of resistance that I had highlighted as well. So that played out okay as well. LRCX bullish above 603.6. LRCX. It opened at 610, so I was bullish above that. Again, if I personally don't like to get in right at the jump, I like to see it pull back. So once it made that move to the upside, the next level to watch was, I don't remember now what it was, but again, if you don't want to play that one, you can look at the intraday price action, right? It went up, came down, did not really break this support level, so this was the level to watch, and this was the resistance, and as soon as it got through that, it ran up nicely. Okay, so what you can do is, if you're seeing this kind of price action, you know that it's only giving shallow pullbacks. It's a bullish looking chart, so you would want to be long this name. You would want to look for pullbacks. You want to look for these red bars, and then eventually seeing the first 5-minute green bar and then going long above that. That's going to be one way to play it. Of course, you have to see other things as well, but that's what we teach in our price action course, how to improve your trading thought process, right? How to read the price action. That helps you, and these price levels help you as well, because the way we trade, me and Annie, is that we like to enter at a price level, and we want to play the price as it moves from one level to the other, right? That's our trade. Or if it gets rejected from this level back down, that's our trade, right? We're not entering in the middle. We're not entering in the middle because we don't know if it will go up or if it will fall back down. We would enter here. We would enter here. So there are multiple ways you can play that, right? You can enter here for a bounce, or you can enter here for a breakdown. For that, you need to read the price. You need to see the market sentiment, how the overall market is doing, what's the higher time frame chart look like, and that's where the learning comes in. Okay, hopefully you guys like this short video, and in the coming days and weeks you will be more prepared to take the action. Okay, thank you guys, and have a good rest of your weekend.